SM3. We're getting started on the chapter, well, one section of chapter 8 and two sections of chapter 9. We're just going to call this chapter 8-9, and it'll be pretty quick. We'll take the test, we'll review and take the test after spring break. And well, this is for the 2023-2024 school year. These videos might be shown later on, so this is for that school year. So today we're going to talk about graphing sine and cosine functions. We're going to spend 2 days on this. So, as you can see, I show some waves, so that should give you a hint if you have never seen what the graph of a sine or cosine function looks like. So how would we graph y equals sine of x on a normal coordinate plane? So just a normal x, y coordinate plane. Well, usually what we do is we plot some points. And so for this, I thought we would just plot some easy points using the unit circle. So if we have the unit circle here, oh, that's terrible. That's okay though. We have 1, 0 here. Here we have 0, 1. Here we have -1, 0. Here we have 0, -1. And hopefully you remember that the x is our cosine, y is sine. So the cosine of 0 or 2 pi or -2 pi, if I come around like this, the cosine of -2 pi would be 1. The sine of -2 pi would be 0. So in this case, -2 pi, the cosine of that, or excuse me, the sine of that would be 0. So now if I come around and I go to -3 pi over 2, the sine of that is 1. And -pi, the sine of that is 0. So hopefully you can tell that what I'm doing is I'm starting as if I'm going up the x-axis, starting from a lower points and moving up, okay? So -pi over 2 would be -1. Okay, and now I'm coming around again. So sine of 0 is 0. Pi over 2 is 1. Pi is 0. 3/2 pi is -1, and then 0. So hopefully you see the pattern, 0, 1, 0, -1, and then it repeats. Okay? All right, so here I have it written down, and on this graph, I'm not gonna write it to scale, but I'm gonna go here where -8 would be, and I'm gonna put -2 pi there. Okay, so -2 pi, here's -3 pi over 2, -pi over 2, here's 0, and then I just put the rest of them in. Here's pi over 2, pi, 3 pi over 2, and 2 pi. And then I'm just gonna make one right here. Again, this is not to scale. Put -1 right here. And now I'm going to plot the points. Okay, so -2 pi 0 will be right here. -3 pi over 2 and 1 will be right here. -pi 0 is here. Okay, and I just keep going. -pi over 2 is -1. And then I come up to 0, 0, pi over 2, 1, pi 0. You can see I'm going like this, right? Like a wave. Okay, and it looks like that. Okay, one thing I want you to notice about this is that my sine function goes through 0, 0. And this is really stupid, okay? But if it helps you remember, I'm all for it, okay? So, 0, 0. Gonna make a 0 with this hand, gonna make a 0 with this hand, and we can look through and we can look for signs. Oh, look, I see my go, go, go sign, and I can see other signs. Oh, important reminders back there. Okay, so 0, 0 is my sine function. Okay? All right, so let's do this again, but let's do it with the cosine. Okay, again, I have my unit circle. Oh, wow, that is bad. Okay, 1, 0. Here is 0, 1, negative 1, 0, and 0, negative 1. Again, this time cosine is my x value. So cosine of negative 2 pi, cosine is 1. Cosine of negative 3 pi over 2 is 0. Then it's negative 1. I bet you can tell what's next. 0, then 1, then 0, then negative 1, then 0, then 1. Okay, we have that pattern when we are taking the coordinates or the radians that are on the axes. Okay? I mean, we could do pi over 4. We could do pi over 3, and we could get, you know, root 2 over 2, and we could get 1/2 and root 3 over 2. We could do those, and we could plot those too, and they would end up on the curve. It's just these are easier to graph. Okay, so we come back over here. We're going to do the same thing. I'm going to do negative 2 pi, negative root 3 pi over 2, negative pi over 2, 0, pi over 2, pi, 3 pi over 2, and 2 pi. Oh, gotta have my 1 and my negative 1. So negative 2 pi, this is 1, 0, you know, negative pi is negative 1, negative pi over 2 is 0. We come up here and back down. So I'm going kind of fast because I know that it's also going to make a wave. Okay, so we come down and up and down and up. And yeah, it kind of looks like, I mean, it looks like a W. Whoa, I missed something. Oops, this is supposed to, I went down too far. We'll just kind of, there. Okay, it looks like a W, but usually we look from 0 on, okay? So here's a way to remember cosine. This is kind of dumb too, but if it helps you remember. With cosine, I'm coasting from the top, right? I gotta go from the top to coast down. And I'm kind of coasting into a cup, right? And also if you look sideways, it looks like a C for cosine. Okay, so I'm coasting into a cup. Okay? All right, so cosine always starts up here at the top, comes down. All right. Let's go on with vocabulary in the next video.